Go on, please.
Thank you very much. All right, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for your patience. Today is our maiden lecture session, and we are looking at Unit 1 of our course. And to start with, I'm going to look at the learning objectives that we're covering today. Just scrolling up to that. Someone join.
Krish, I think Nana is in the waiting room. Can you please let her in?
Okay. Did you say Nina?
Yes, yes.
Hello?
Yeah, Nina is back here.
Yeah.
Okay. Right. So, okay. The first unit we're looking at starting today is leadership and management for adult care. So we'll have a look at the assignment brief covering this unit, and then we'll continue with the lecture delivery. Okay. All right, so can everyone see the assignment brief? This is what you would receive, and you will be able to fill in the relevant parts. The submission date is going to be given to us by Mansi. Relevant information covering what is required from us are all indicated here. The unit aim, relevant instruction. The grading for this unit is a pass or a referred. It is expected that no one will fail. You have all the support you need to complete this unit and all other units. There are some helpful information in relation to sources. 2 books that will be helpful are those indicated here. You will have a Kindle version as well available on Amazon. There are some helpful journals and the websites that you can consult and contact as sources of relevant information. Information regarding plagiarism and cheating is there. How you are required to submit your work, the font size, and the line spacing. All of those are covered on the assignment brief. Now, there are some other aspects of the assessment we're going to cover next in our next session. And so we'll not go much into that. So when we get there, I'm going to talk about some of these things you can see here. So this is the case scenario, the task scenario. Can we have Nina read the scenario for us? Can you see it very clearly, please?
Hi, task scenario is you have been shortlisted for interview for the role of Deputy Manager of Vision Residential Home for the Elderly. In preparation of your interview and to demonstrate your knowledge, skills, and suitability for the role, you are required by the panel to answer the following questions.
Good, thank you. So that's the scenario. We will be attempting these units from that background of scenario. And so the assessment criteria covered are those on the left here. The activity, in other words, the areas that will be focusing, the assessment criteria will be supposed to answer to are indicated here under activity. And so, Nina, could you continue from 1.1 to 1.3? And then we'll have Lalita take 1.4 to 1.7 for us, please.
Okay, 1.1 says, analyze key theories of leadership and management. And 1.2 says, explain the differences between leadership and management. And 1.3 says, describe how theoretical models of leadership and management are applied to own practice.
Yeah, 1.4, explain potential conflicts that may occur when applying theoretical models of leadership and management. Propose strategies to address potential conflicts that may occur when applying theoretical models of leadership and management. 1.6, analyze the range of different leadership styles. 1.7, explain how coaching and mentoring can be used to complement leadership styles.
Thank you very much. And so much of learning outcome 1, which comprises of what Nina and Lalita have read for us, is what we're going to cover into this session, as much as time will permit us. And our next session, we're going to look at elements that are missing from here and components of learning outcome 2. Is that okay? There are some helpful other evidences that need to be included in your portfolio that are here. We'll talk about all of that during our next session. Thank you. So, having covered all of that, we're going to start with our lesson for today. So, leadership and management in adult care. Basically, our focus is the care of adults or the elderly. When we talk about adults, we're talking about people who are beyond the ages of 17, 18 till the time of death. I know in different countries and different regions, the age of adulthood differs in relation to what the Constitution and the rules and regulations of those regions are. So basically, we're looking at adults. So we're not talking about children, we're not talking about babies, because we have that care as well, care of children and care of the children, but we're talking about adult care. So basically, we're focusing on adults. So we're looking at the role of a leader and the role of a manager in adult care. Basically, those are the things we are going to be talking about. So, shall we please have Sarah to take us through the introductory bit, if you can see clearly, Sarah.
Yeah, is it audible?
Yes, please. It is.
Yeah, the introduction. Leadership and management must go hand in hand. They are not the same thing, but they are necessarily linked and complementary. Any effort to separate the two is likely to cause more problems than it solves. Still, much ink has been spent delineating the difference.
The difference.
The manager's job is to plan, organize, and coordinate. The leader's job is to
inspire,
and motivate.
Good.
In his 1989 book on becoming a leader, Warren Bennis composed a list of the differences. The manager administrates, the leader innovates, the manager is a copy, the leader is an original.
Thank you very much. So that's a brief introduction. Before we go more into this, let's have some sharing of ideas. When we talk about a leader, what comes to your mind when you hear the word leader? Or when we talk about leadership, what comes to your mind as opposed to manager and management? Feel free to share what you think. In our class, there is no there's no wrong answer. That because it's a learning environment, so we learn. And so I want everyone to feel free to share your ideas, share your views, ask questions, and then we learn together. We're learning from one another. Is that okay? So when you hear the word leader or leadership, what comes to your mind?
A leader who leads a group, who make people comfortable so that the group or the team can achieve the task.
Excellent. Very good points there. The leader leads. Then you were talking about achieving tasks.
Yeah.
Very good. Thank you so very much. Yes. Next, any other idea about leader and manager? Who else wants to share?
A leader is a person who the team members can also look up to, and he sometimes can also act as a problem buster. But in my opinion, like, a leader shouldn't be bossy, but should lead the team together.
Good.
And
a leader shouldn't be bossy. I like that.
And I'd like to ask you, are you all right? Because you're sweating a lot, Chris.
Yes, I was rushing from the office to get home for you.
I would like after today, at the end of the class, we can talk about the schedule as well, because I think if you are in this will be the same schedule for you on every Monday, so we don't mind to change it. So let's do the class, and maybe in the end we can discuss it. No problem.
All right. Thank you so much for your care and concern. Yeah, I was in the office. You know, our office is in.
Yeah, I know. I understand.
So, yeah. Great.
During this whole class, do we have any 5 or 7 minutes break, like any few minutes break?
Yes, absolutely. We would have short breaks, so you could maybe have a drink, use the washroom.
Okay. Okay. No.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So, very good point you made there. The leader shouldn't be bossy, and that's important when it comes to talking about the differences between a leader and a manager. Very good. Thank you. Any other final ideas about who a manager is and how a manager differs from a leader? All right, so now let's look at what Sarah read for us. Now, it's easy for people to confuse the role of a manager with that of a leader, because there is a thin line between them, okay? And over the years, this has been considered from the viewpoint of experts and authorities on leadership and management. But from what Sarah read to us, you can see it very clearly that it says the manager's job is to plan. So the traditional definition of management includes planning. And another role or job of the manager is to organize. So you see that in the traditional definition of management, you will see organization. And another role of the manager traditionally is to coordinate. And so you will see in the traditional definition of management, controlling. The manager coordinates by controlling various departments, various line managers who are all working under him, under whom are other subordinates. So basically, you will see planning, organizing, and controlling, which comes under coordinating as aspects of the definition of the role and the job of a manager, in other words, management. Then you see that the leader's job is to inspire and to motivate the team or the group, as Nina mentioned in the definition, and the people that they are working with. So inspiration, motivating the people to achieve, like Lalita said, tasks that are set. So it's very important to include this in your definition when you are writing your assignment. I know we've gotten the understanding and the knowledge of it, and we'll be acquiring the skills, but then we also need to do the assignments, and we'll include all of this to be able to achieve our qualification. So the manager administers. In other words, administration is a large aspect of the manager's role and job. And the leader innovates. So innovation, bringing change, exploring new things with the team are all other aspects of leadership as opposed to that of the manager. Right, any question before we continue? So now let's look at what the definitions of management is and the definition of leadership is. So we have definition of terminologies. So leadership is the ability, take note of the words highlighted and in blue. Leadership is the ability to influence, keyword, and direct a group of people to accomplish a certain objective. In this case, the objective will be the objective of the organization or of the company or of the care agency or of the care home or the residential home or whichever setting it is that the adult is being taken care of. Leadership is the ability to influence and direct a group of people to accomplish a certain defined objective. So the objective relates to the vision, the mission, the aspirations, the goals of the company. So you can relate this to any work setting and any business. But particularly, all our discussion are going to be centered on the health and social care sector, and particularly adult care. So when you relating and reflecting and writing your assignment, please make sure you link it to health and social care and adult care. Any contribution to that or any question before we proceed, please? All right. So that means we all understand that. Keywords there are very, very important. Ability, influence, direct, achieve, or accomplish objective. So that's leadership broadly. Management. It's about ensuring that the daily activities of the organization or the company are achieved. They are going on and they are being achieved. And that is where planning comes into it. That is where organization comes into it. That is where administration comes into it. That is where monitoring and control come into it as the basic functions of the manager. And that is why in management, you have different roles. So you have the marketing manager or the line manager in charge of marketing, administration, or in different aspects. They come under planning, organization, administration, all of those things put together for the manager to achieve their objective in managing the organization. And we apply all this to health and social care and the care of the adults. Shall we proceed? Let's look at some other definition of these terminologies by some authorities and experts. So we're going to take it one by one. Nina, Alita, Sarah. So Nina, tell us what Gary Wills thinks a leader is. Nina, can you hear me? Hello, yeah, that's right, yeah.
Chris, should I start?
Yeah, we can hear you. Is that Nina?
No, I'm Lalita.
Oh, Lalita, okay, yeah, you can have a go, please.
Okay, Gary Wills. The leader is one who mobilizes others towards a goal shared by leaders and followers. Leaders, followers, and goals make up the three equally necessary supports for leadership. Leadership is all about helping subordinates and those who follow you realize their potential.
Very good. So there are some key words that you have the leader, you have the follower, you have goals. And the leader helps the subordinates to realize their potentials as they work towards achieving the goal. That is according to Gary Wills. Okay, let's go to Peter Drucker.
Aru.
Yes, Alita.
Continue. Okay. The only definition of a leader is someone who has followers. In essence, leadership assumes that there has to be a group of people who share your vision and willingly follow you.
That's it. So there is no leader without a follower. And if there are no followers, then it means you are not leading.
Yeah.
That's what Peter Drucker is saying. And for a leader to continue leading, he has to have the ability to inspire the people who are following. As long as the people who are following are inspired, then your leadership is going to thrive. There are key leaders we can think about over the generations in history. Think about Mahatma Gandhi. Yeah. He was a great leader because he had the ability to inspire people towards believing that there is the need for independence. And people rallied behind him as he embarked upon peaceful, ideas in relation to fighting for independence and freedom. So there can be a leader without inspiration. And as long as you are able to inspire people and motivate people towards a particular goal, then it means you are a leader and your followers will continue to follow. And that is what Peter Drucker is saying here. Right, so Sarah, what does Bill Gates and John Maxwell say about leadership?
Bill Gates says that as we look ahead into the next century, leaders will be those who empower others. Can you picture a scenario where an executive brews some coffee for his subordinates? In the future, we are bound to see more servant leaders.
All right. So thank you. So Bill Gates is saying that the leader empowers people. In other words, the leader works together with the people. Management is much more about controlling the people, but the leader knows that I have to inspire these people, work together with them. And that is why he's talking about servant leadership. So the leader does the work together with the people. And this is what leads us to what one of you said earlier on. The leader does not boss it over the people. No, he works together with them. The manager tries to be the boss. Thank you. Yes, Sarah?
Yeah. John Maxwell says that leadership is influence, nothing more, nothing less. John Maxwell's definition does away with hierarchy and authority and instead focus on the ability to influence.
Good. So that's what John Maxwell is another authority and expert in and on the subject of leadership. He says Leadership is the ability to influence others. Just nothing more, nothing less. If you can't influence others, then it means you are not a leader. So to influence others is to inspire them and to motivate them towards achieving the vision. And that is what leadership is. Any contribution or question before we continue, please? Right, so I think with this, we have 3 more definitions from some of the experts on leadership. Can we have Nina take Jack and Brown for us, please?
Can you zoom the screen, please? Because I'm doing it on my mobile.
Okay, so you can zoom it in on your screen.
Yeah, okay.
Thank you.
Yeah, it's the definition by Jack Welch.
Good.
Welch. It says, before you are a leader, success is all about growing yourself. When you become a leader, success is all about growing others. Leader needs to grow continually. However, they have a responsibility to train and grow those who follow them.
Thank you very much. So Jack is saying, before you become a leader, you try to develop yourself, grow yourself, train yourself, develop abilities and capability. But when you become a leader, you stop focusing only on your growth. And you look at the potentials in others, develop their potentials and try to grow them. That is what leaders do. Managers don't do that. Managers look at who has the skill, the ability to do this job, employ them to do it. Doesn't necessarily grow them. It's always looking at firing and hiring the best of the best. But the leader grows the people. They grow together with the leader. Perfect. And what does Brown say?
Yeah, he says, I define a leader as anyone who takes responsibility for finding the potential in people and processes, and who has the courage to develop that potential. Yeah. Among the most critical leadership qualities and responsibilities is the ability to challenge and empower others to help them overcome their limitations.
Excellent. Isn't that interesting? So Brown is saying that the leader's role is to think about the others. How can I grow them? How can I see their potentials? How can I inspire them and help them to be able, to grow, to develop, to be empowered, to become the best that they can become? And everyone wants to hang around a leader who sees something good in them and who inspires them towards achieving higher heights. And that is what, when you become a leader or a manager in the health and social care setting, the people who work with you, the people whom you line manage, and the subordinate, the people who work under you, will be looking forward to from you. Inspiration, motivation, empowerment, spotting their potentials and telling them, you can do it, you can do it, you can make it. Not talking them down, but lifting up their spirits. That's what makes great leaders. The US Air Force defines leadership as the art of influencing and directing people in such a way that will win their obedience. So don't forget, influencing and directing people in a way that will win their obedience. They are ready to obey and follow everything that you say. Win their confidence, win their respect, and win their loyal cooperation in achieving common objectives. And these are the values that shape the US Air Force and military in relation to those who are at the top. It continues to say as a leader, you need to mentor and coach others in ways that command respect and confidence in the vision that you put forward. So that's why mentoring and coaching are relevant aspects of leadership and management. And it helps complement everything that the leader and the manager does. Any questions so far or any contribution? Are you ready for us to take a 5-minute break? And we come back to continue, or you want us to continue?
I think we can continue.
Thank you, Sarah. So let's look at 5 key characteristics or features of a leader. Now, in one of your questions, you are asked to differentiate what are the key differences between a leader and a manager. To answer that question, you have to talk more about, you define leadership, define management. You talk about what are the features of a leader, what are the features of a manager, and how do you think they differ from one another? That simply answers the question. So this is one of the answers to one of the questions. All right, Sarah, please, do you want to set a sail, a sailing? Sarah, I hope you're not muted. All right, so the ability, one of the characteristics, the key characteristics of a leader is that a leader has the ability to communicate clearly and effectively with his or her team. So effective communication is very important to the role of a good leader. Communicating verbally, communicating non-verbally, communicating using written forms of communication, and also communicating the vision and the mission, the objectives very clearly so people know what they are supposed to do and how they are supposed to do it. The manager also should have what we call intrinsic motivation, that is self-motivation, should be internally motivated and should have a lot of confidence. Because a leader who is not self-motivated cannot motivate others. And a leader who doesn't have confidence cannot inspire other people. So the leader needs to have that confidence in the vision and the mission, and the aspirations of the team, of the company, of the organization, to be able to convince others also to believe in your vision and to flow with their vision. These are very, very important. Then the leader also should have courage. Courage to be able to make decisions. Courage to be able to influence change and to manage change. Very important. And the leader should have the ability to collaborate. Collaborate means to be able to cooperate and work with others. Team spirit. To be able to tolerate other people's strengths. As a leader, it doesn't mean you know everything. The leader doesn't know everything. An effective leader is one who has the best minds and the best brains around him or her. So you can learn from them and use their skills and abilities and capabilities and potentials and capacity to grow the vision and the mission. An effective leader is not intimidated by the knowledge, the talents, and the abilities of other people. They are rather encouraged to have the best of the best with them. So collaboration is important, ability to work together with others. And the last characteristic there of key leaders is they are good listeners and they have effective interpersonal relationship skills. They are able to listen to others. They are not always ready to talk. They are also ready to listen because wisdom and knowledge is not in one person's head alone. We learn from each other. So you realize that in this lesson so far, we've all been learning from each other. We're sharing ideas. I'm not teaching, I'm just facilitating, and we are all learning together. So I listen to you, you listen to me, we listen to one another, and that is how we learn. And it's also another key characteristic of effective leaders. Any question or contribution, or anyone wants to add to that? All right, so Lalita, could you please take us through this next slide?
Yeah, it's First point, democratic leadership. Leaders make decisions after listening to each team member's input. While they have the final say, each person contributes to the project's direction.
That's democratic leadership style. The leader listens to the members and each person contributes to the decision-making process. And that's what we see in democratic leadership styles. Everyone's ideas and opinions are included in the decision-making. Next one, Alita, tell you.
Autocratic leadership. Autocratic leadership, the exact opposite of democratic leadership. The leader makes decisions without any consultations and expects the followers to adhere to them. In this age, it's difficult to sustain such a leadership style.
Good. So, democratic leadership style, which we all understand, because we are part of a lot of democratic leadership in many parts of the world now, is the opposite of autocratic. The autocratic, the leader or the manager, this applies to either management or leadership. The leader or the manager is the one who is making every decision. Doesn't matter what the opinion or the views or the ideas of anybody is. He thinks he knows all, he thinks he's the best, and he thinks his ideas alone should prevail. That is autocratic. They use their authority, and that the same, another word for autocratic leadership is dictators. They dictate their views and their ideas to push it on every other person. Right. Next one, Lalita again.
Transformational leadership. The leader is constantly pushing followers out of their comfort zones by improving on the policies and procedures.
This is one of the best transformational leadership style. The leader helps you to grow from where you are to the highest point that you can go to. So when you are working in that organization, you don't assume one particular role or level or band for very many years. You have the opportunity to progress along the ladder. You have opportunity to grow yourself, to go for training, to develop your skills, have higher qualifications and higher pay because you are growing. Transformational leaders see the potential in people and helps them to grow from one level to the other, to improve, and that also grows the organization. Right. Nina, strategic and laissez-faire.
Yeah, it says strategic leaders find a balance between the company's operations and development opportunities. This is quite desirable as it can support numerous types of employees.
Good. So strategic leaders, they strike a balance. So they are thinking about the company, but they are thinking also about the people, the workforce, the followers. They are not only thinking about, driving the vision and the mission of the organization by trampling upon everyone and making them just grow the company. No, they are thinking about the company on one hand and thinking about the people who are working with the company. All right. And laissez-faire?
Laissez-faire leaders make no major policies. Rather, they put their trust in the followers' abilities while focusing on the big picture.
Okay. So laissez-faire leadership style is where the employees, the employees or the team or the followers are just used to achieve the goal. So the leader is not focusing on any major, policies. It's like the goal is there, the vision is there, just do the work. They put their trust in the followers' abilities and just focus on the big picture. And it's not an effective leadership style. Now, one of the things that you would be doing in answering this question is you look at the advantages and the disadvantages of each of these leadership styles and relate it to the health and and social care environment. How do you think this will work best in a practical situation? Okay. Any question? All right, let's continue. Sarah, leadership versus management. Please take note of the highlighted areas with the colors blue and red. Helps us to make the difference.
This PPT will be shared, no? This PPT will be shared in the group, no?
No, again?
This PPT will be shared in group, no?
Yes, it will be shared.
Okay, fine.
Yeah, thank you.
So should I read it?
Yes, please.
There are several distinctions between leading people and managing them. For instance, leaders have to come up with a clear picture of their vision, come up with a way of engaging followers so that they can turn the vision into reality. On the other hand, managers are more focused on setting, assessing, and achieving goals.
Yes, please go on.
Yeah, leaders have to be innovative. This implies that they sometimes have to disrupt process for the good of their vision. Leaders have to relegate and refine process structures and systems. Managers have tended to stick with that has already been tried and proven. In most cases, leaders are risk takers, while managers control risks. For a leader to be successful, they have to try new things even though they know they might fail. To them, failure is often a path towards success. Managers seek to control problems rather than embarrass them. Leaders are more about forging the relationship between all stakeholders. This is because they need to influence everyone involved to achieve their goal. This is done by nurturing a culture of loyalty and trust. Managers focus on ensuring that policies and systems are already in place for you to realize your desired outcomes. Managers are more or less analytical than intentional.
Sorry, excellent. The last one, please.
Managers are more or less analytical than intentional.
Managers are more what? They are more or less analytical than intentional. And that again helps us to see the difference between managers and leaders. Leaders are very intentional in what they do, bringing inspiration to the team and motivating the team. But you don't see that in managers. So, excellent. Anyone wants to share on any of those points? Anyone wants to share an idea or give examples of any of those points that Sarah has read for us or relates to them or ask a question? So we all understand. So there again are some key differences between a manager and a leader. You can use this in your assignments. Just make sure you reference it appropriately and adding a little bit of your own research to it helps you to answer the questions. You have everything it takes to be able to do the assignment. Much of the work is done for you. Good. All right, so let's move on further from there. Let's look at the role of leadership in management. So here, what we're trying to do here is to combine or see where the role of the leader fuses or blends or weaves into that of a manager. So Lalita, could you please take the first three for us? And Naina takes the last three for us. Thank you.
The role of leadership in management. A
Yes.
manager has to possess certain leadership qualities to achieve their set goals and objectives. The types of leadership roles in management positions include: first, initiating actions. The leader is responsible for beginning the work by communicating the plans and policies to their subordinates. Second, guidance. As a manager, a leader has to play a guiding role in his subordinates. This involves supervising them and ensuring that tasks are carried out effectively and efficiently. Third, motivation. A leader has to motivate his subordinates by giving them monetary and non-monetary incentives and rewards. This motivates the subordinates to work towards a common goal.
Thank you. So we have action, guidance, and motivation. So that is what a leader should do and a manager should do. So the two blends in there. So when you look at the first one, when you look at the beginning, it says the types of leadership roles a manager, can engage with or in a management position. So the two, they're together. Thank you. Yes, the last three, please. Nina, please, are you there?
Imparting confidence. I have to read this, imparting confidence, right?
No. From fourth point.
Boosting.
Okay,
employee.
boosting. Sorry,
Yes.
boosting employee team morale. This refers to the fostering of culture. This refers to the fostering of culture of cooperation among employees and entire teams. You need to boost your employees' morale by building their trust and confidence in you and their ability to work together towards a common goal.
Good. And the next one, please.
Yeah, next one says coordination. Leaders and managers need to know how they can reconcile their subordinates' personal interests with the overall organization goals. A balance between the two can only be achieved through coordination.
Good. The last one, please.
Yeah, last one is imparting confidence. Leaders and managers can impart confidence in their subordinates by giving them clear explanation of their roles, tasks, and how these will be achieved. You should also take the time to listen to their challenges and complaints.
Excellent. Very clearly read. So these 6 that we have seen here are part of the role of a leader and a manager working or fusing the two together. And there is a question in relation to how to manage conflict. And you can use these as well. These are some of the strategies: coordination, imparting confidence, boosting the morale of the team, motivation, guidance, initiating action. These also can help with that. And these are very important in fulfilling your role as a manager in a health and social care setting. Please, is there any question? All right. So please, let's take 5-minute break and then we'll come back to continue. Is that okay? Yeah. 5 minutes, you want to stretch your legs?
Okay, Chris, how many slides are still left?
You go, come back from break and then we'll look at that. Okay.
Yeah, because we started today quite late, around 6:30.
Yeah.
So if it will be too late, like if it will drag after 8 o'clock, so it will be difficult for us to remain.
No, it will not drag. We'll finish at 8 o'clock as we have.
Yeah. So whatever is left, we can do it in the next class, because we have to, I think, reschedule our days as well, because I'm facing some problem on Monday.
Okay, no problem.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, so so we need to keep it open, right? We shouldn't leave the room.
Don't leave. Just mute your side, please.
Oh, okay.
And yeah, we'll come back to continue.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
All right, please, are we back?
Yeah, I am here only.
Okay. Well done. Is that Lalita?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm also here. I didn't even leave.
Oh, okay. Well done. So we have 5 slides to finish. Okay. Right. It's Sarath back. The gentleman among us. Sarath, let's know if you are here.
Sir, I will join in 5 minutes. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
5 minutes. Okay. Sir.
Are you ready?
Yeah, I will be in 5 minutes. Sorry.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay, so ladies, shall we give Sarath about 2-3 minutes? Let's be reading through while we wait for Sarath to join in. This is Theories and Models of Leadership and Management from the authorities and aspects of leadership and management.
Hello. Hello.
Yeah, no.
Yeah. Where is Chris?
You are going to, I don't know.
Chris is here. We're just waiting for Sarath.
Yeah. I'd like to ask you, like,
Yes.
is the assignment sheet already ready with you?
Assignment sheet.
Yeah.
Yes, it is.
So we'll get that via mail today?
Yes, I've sent it to Mansi to send to you before I left the office, but unfortunately, she said she's not received my email. And
she haven't
so
received.
but I've asked her to check the spam. I've sent all the resources, including the this PowerPoint presentation.
Okay.
I did all of that before I left office. That was why I left office late.
All right, but I was thinking that why don't you do one thing, like sending all these documents via channel, so you can keep her in the loop and then you can send to all of us together.
Thank you, but the one who has the job role of sending the communications to students is Mansi.
Okay, because
Yeah.
I know that she's too busy.
I
know her schedule and everything.
Okay.
So sometimes we also can't blame her because she's too much occupied with the other things.
You are very caring and very considerate, you know.
No, because she is the colleague of my husband.
Okay.
And I know how much she's engaged actually. And plus she is managing the time zone between India and London.
Okay, I take your suggestion on board. So whatever I send to Mansi, with her permission, I'll send it to you all by WhatsApp. Just
because anyways we would like to have your because anyways we would like to have your mail ID as well, because in future if we come across any problem, so rather than discussing our personal challenges on the WhatsApp group, we can mail you.
Okay, that is fine.
Because I had gone through that level 3 one, no, so we do come across lots of questions, so sometimes it finds silly for the other candidate, but it's important for us.
That's fine. So I've sent my email in the group chat.
Okay.
So you can all have access to it. All right. Thank you. All right. So your suggestion is well taken. I will take Mansi's permission. So as a backup, I will send everything to you by WhatsApp as well. Is that okay? Everyone happy with that?
There are only 4 people you need to send, 2, 3 of us and Mansi.
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah.
Thank you, Naina.
Thank you
for your helpful suggestion. All right, so we'll be concluding very soon. We want to talk about management and leadership theories.
You can start the slide. It's okay because you will be sending the recording and sending the PDF. We
Yes,
have
so-
kids at school tomorrow, so we can't wait after 8.
Right.
Yeah,
So can you,
I'm in.
are you in now? Good.
Ah.
All right. So can you all see the current slide?
No.
Really?
I can't see.
Can you see now?
Yeah, now it's fine.
Okay. So we now looking at leadership and management theories and models. So we have corporate governance, which is fascinating and hugely dynamic. And it's a very far-reaching theory. It grew as a concept in response to increasing serious corporate scandal in the late 1900s and remains strongly concerned with these areas of corporate risk. So corporate governance also offers interesting perspectives for leadership, authority, ego, wealth creation, greed, risk, responsibility, ethics, morality. All these things are things concerned with leadership and with management, etc. And how these issues reconcile or conflict with organizational and market dynamics and the needs of society, the environment, quality of life, economic health. So corporate governance is relevant when we are talking about leadership and management, and it has to be considered very carefully in every managerial and leadership role. The next one is psychological contract. The psychological contract is an increasingly relevant aspect of workplace relationship and wider human behavior. So when you look at the terminology, psychological has to do with human behavior, the way human beings behave. For example, if someone is having a lot of pressure and stress carried from home to the place of work, you can imagine that the amount of stress, be it related to family issues, marital issues, health issues, or whatever, can have some measure of impact on the person's performance at the place of work, even on the learning of students as well. And so there has to be a balance that is struck between all of this and looking at how these relate. Descriptions and definitions of psychological contract first emerged in the 1960s, notably in the work of organizational and behavioral theorist Chris Agris and Edgar Shin. Many other experts have contributed ideas to the subject since then and continue to do so, either specifically focusing on psychological contract or approaching it from a particular perspective, or of which there are very many other perspectives to be considered. The psychological contract is a deep and varied concept and is open to a wide range of interpretations and theoretical studies. And so it's important to, this can be linked to what we call not intelligent quotient. There's one other. When I remember, I'll bring it in and link it, whereby as an employee and as part of a team, you don't allow what is happening in your personal life to interfere with your professional life. And it's important that managers and leaders pay attention to these as well in relation to their teams. Then we have the Maslow hierarchy of needs, which I believe a number of you are very familiar with. Can we have Nina take us through that, please?
It's Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Each of us is motivated by needs. Our most basic needs are inborn, having evolved over tens of thousands of years. Abraham Maslow's hierarchy of needs helps to explain how these needs motivate us all. Maslow's hierarchy of needs states that we must satisfy each need in turn, stating with the first, which deals with the most obvious need for survival itself. Only when the lower order needs of physical and emotional well-being are satisfied, and we are concerned with the higher order of needs of influence and personal development.
Personal development. Thank you. And so it's very important that as a manager and a leader, much as you're concerned with the achievement of the goal and the objective, the vision and the mission of the organization, you're also considering the needs of your team. And this is where the theories and the models are very, very important. And these keys in most of the time into staff benefits and staff welfare and well-being packages and conditions of service to boost the morale of staff so that they can perform at their best, considering their needs. So you realize that some managers and leaders consider these very much in relation to their staff. All right, next one, Lalita.
Love and spirituality in management and business. Love in business and work means making decisions and conducting oneself in a way that cares for people and the world we live in. So why is love? So spirituality such a neglected concept in business? It has not always been so.
Okay, so looking at this, one might think, oh, why are we talking about business? Why are we talking about company management and leadership? And we're talking about love and spirituality. It's because you work with human beings. Human beings have emotions. Human beings have feelings. They feel hurt. They need to feel cared for. They need to be appreciated. Some people lose loved ones and they need to be shown comfort, sympathy, empathy, because they are the workforce. And so a good dynamic of having love and spirituality simply means what brings meaning to somebody. It has nothing to do with religion. Where does someone find hope? Where does someone find value? What brings the greatest satisfaction to the person? It differs from person to person. For some people, it is family. For some people, it's friends, different things. And so it's very important to ensure that the care of the workforce is considered as much as possible as a leader and as a manager. And that's why it's part of the theory and the model of leadership and management. Do we have any question? We'll be concluding pretty soon. Let's see how we're doing for time. Okay, we have about
I just have
18
one
minutes.
question popping in my
Yes.
mind for so long.
Good.
Since we have started,
Yes.
is that the theories and concepts and definitions, whatever we have read so far
Yes.
in all the slides, it's a very generalized concepts that if anybody has done MBA or masters in some finance or something, they must have gone through it. Even I have also read all this. So how we will relate this to the current course, that is
Okay.
social health care? Because these are very generalized concepts.
Yeah.
How
So-
is to be related with the, because I'm sorry to disturb you. I mean,
No, it's not a disturbance
intervene
at all.
you.
Yeah, go on.
Because when we were doing the level 3 EYFS,
Mhm.
so same things were there also, like working in partnership and
Yeah.
leadership and management.
Good.
But after all the definitions, there was a clear bridge between these definitions with that current scenario, or you can say that working culture, basically.
Yeah.
Because once we are done with these slides, we'll find it hard to relate it with the actual assignment that we need to do.
Okay, thank you. That's a very good question. So if you look at the scenario we looked at the beginning,
Yeah.
the scenario is that you're approaching all of these from an angle of someone who has been shortlisted for interview. That's why we look at the scenario. So that is behind our mind in everything that we are doing. And when you look at this slide, this is the third slide, when we were looking at the definition, you can see here when we're defining leadership. We said leadership is the ability to influence and direct a group of people to accomplish a certain objective. And then we said, in this case, the organizational objectives, goals, vision, and mission in the interest of the service user or the individual or the resident in the health and social care and work environment. So everything that we are studying, you relate it to the health and social care work environment. Are you with me?
Okay.
Because the principles, the models, and the theories, they are general, they are generic.
Yes, that's what I'm saying,
Yeah, but we have to link them to the health and social care work environment, as we can see here.
Okay.
Does that help answer the question? That's a very good question. Excellent. Well done. Good. So the next theory and model is organizational change, training, and learning. Modern principles for organizational change management, effective employee training and development. It's very, very important. That's why we have CPD, we have staff training, we have study days built into work in this dispensation because of organizational change management. So people need to learn, people need to be updated with new regulations, new rules, new processes of doing things, particularly when you take the pandemic. For example, the pandemic is something that affected the whole world. Things came into force, like the use of PPE, the use of face mask, the use of how do you call it, sanitizers, hand washing, aprons, different things that we were not used to before, as it were. And in relation to that, staff have to be trained. New things have to be learned, and these have to be built into management and leadership. Very important. So these principles are forward-thinking, emotionally mature organizations, and value integrity above results. And it values people above profit. In management, most of the time, the managers were looking at profit, irrespective of how the people who are doing the work are feeling, and whether they have the ability, the capability, the skills to do the work or not. But in these times, the theories make room for training and learning, which also make the transition of change management easier in the health and social care sector. So when you take the pandemic again as an example, some of the things that we have gone through and are practicing now, and some of which are ending now because lockdown has happened, and how do you call it? The processes have changed now. We didn't know them before. We're not doing them before, but the pandemic, the situation brought it about, and we had to adjust to it. So that's what this theory is about. Okay. All right. So these will be our last two slides, and we will bring today's session to an end. So other theories of leadership. Those of you who have studied management may be familiar with some of this. The Great Man or Trait School theory. It celebrates outstanding individual leaders in the heroic tradition and studies their traits or their characteristics to understand their accomplishments as leaders. You can use this, you can reflect on them, and all the references are here. You can use them in your assignment. Okay, so that's the trait theory. So there are great leaders. What makes them great? What were their characteristics that make them so achievement-driven, and that today we can celebrate them? It is because of the traits or the characteristics or the features that they employed in their leadership and in their management. Okay. Then we also have the behavioral or the styles school, which describes leadership in terms of people and task orientation, suggesting that different combinations of these, the people and the tasks, produce different styles of leadership. So the people and the tasks that they perform and how they approach them, that is the behavioral or the styles school theory by Lewin and Co. Then we have the situational or the context school theory. It emphasizes the importance of the context in shaping leaders and their responses to be more relationship or task motivated. So, or authoritative or participative. Situational context school theory. When you look at what is happening between Russia and Ukraine, you can link the situational or context school theory to the Ukrainian president, emphasizing the importance of context in shaping a leader's response to be more relationship or task motivated or authoritative or participative. When you watch some of the earlier videos released by the president, when he was even offered the choice of being transported from Ukraine to the US government gave him that option. He said, no, I will be here and I'll fight for my country and I'll fight with my people. And that also encouraged some people to stay on and fight. And people got, enlisted in the army who were not in the army before. That is situational and context school theory. Okay. Then we have the contingency or interactionist school theory. It proposes that leaders' influence is contingent on various factors. How much a leader can influence is based on various factors, like positional powers, which in turn determines appropriate leadership style. Okay, so if there is an urgency or a contingency, depending on the situation, depending on what is happening at the time, those are some of the factors that determine the appropriate leadership style that is adopted. Then we have the transactional or transformational school theory, contrast leadership as a negotiated cost-benefit exchange and as an appeal to self-transcendent values of pursuing shared goals for the common good. Again, you can liken the pandemic and all the changes that come to the way we used to live our lives and the way we have to change to live our lives. You can link it also to that and how the various leaders, and that's basically this is in the health and social care sector, people in the nursing home, people in the care home have to adopt the wearing of masks. They were not receiving visitors, and some people had to die not having their families by their bedside. These were very difficult situations. And people who lost their loved ones couldn't go to the cemetery beyond 2 people to go and bury them. A lot of things happen all over the world in different places. But that has to do with the situation, And so these are some of the things that determine the leadership style as well. The last one here we want to take, I'll let all of you take us through this. So Lalita, please take the first one, and then Sarat, the second one, and Naina, the last one, universal perspectives.
Okay. Implicit in many of these definitions in the notion of leadership trends, which is one of the oldest forms of leadership inquiry, often referred to as great men or trend theory. And now it's tough for me to pronounce.
Okay, that's fine. So those are the references.
Yeah.
Thank you. So
1841 and Tenenbaum and tough to pronounce.
well done. Yes, so that's the great man theory. Okay, Sarah?
Despite criticism, the fascination with the leadership traits persist. For example, a meta-study by the Center of Excellence in Management and Leadership identified over 1,000 leadership traits in the literature, which they distilled to 83 more or less distinct attributes.
Good. Nina?
Yeah. Less comprehensive lists have been produced. Example, Levine 2008 and categorization proposed. Example, Boyd this 1982, Stottgill 1974. Of these, Stottgill's is perhaps the most user-friendly. Table 2.
Thank you. Yes, so these are other things that you can explore. What I would encourage you to do is for our next lesson, I'm going to give you, well, any question first. So these are some of the sources for this session on the slide. There is something, if there is no question, there is something I want us to do for the next session. I'm just going to share from, yeah.
Chris, in the beginning, you gave few names for the books. Which one are those? What are the authors' name?
Okay.
When we started the class?
Thank you. They are here. Please, can you see this slide?
Yeah.
Okay. So we have Tillmouth, the City and Guilds textbook, level 5 diploma in leadership and management for adult care, the 2nd edition. And then we have the Gopi and Galloway, leadership and management in healthcare. If you find any helpful one, you can also share it with the rest of the team. You can get this one over here on this website.
Because I can see one diploma in leadership and health and social care, 2nd edition by Jan Quallington and Tina Tillmouth by Hodders Education.
That is it. That's Tina Tillmouth.
Yeah,
This
so
is
is that a good one?
This is the 2nd edition. It is a good one.
Because Hodders publication books are quite good. They have a quite good segmented specification for all the chapters.
Absolutely. I think you can get a Kindle version as well.
Yeah, but Kindle version and paper version, it's not much difference in the price.
I know.
So I would prefer the paperback only.
That's right.
Yeah. Because there is not a huge difference.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. So thank you for noting that.
So are we done for today?
We are done for today, but I want to request you to do something for our next session.
Where we'll get the assignment sheet tomorrow from Mansi?
Yes, you should get it from Mansi, but I'm going to put it on WhatsApp as well in response to your request. Is that okay?
Yes.
Okay. So what I want you to do is to go over the PowerPoint, okay, before our next session. The evidence for these questions is, okay, let me show you the assignment templates, I think, to make it easier. To make it easier for you to see how, where's templates? Assignments, templates. Okay, so yeah. Good. Well done to your children. They have done very well. They have helped us. this is not what I want to share. What can
Where's
you see?
the assignment?
I want to share the assignment template. Okay, see. Okay, can you see this?
Yeah.
Okay. So this is the assignment template.
And when do we have to
task
submit this?
Nancy will give you the deadline. It will be on
Okay.
the assignment brief that she sends to you.
Okay.
So
Can you scroll down a little bit?
yes, so you are going to do your
Okay.
assignment on this template, okay?
And how long each answer should be?
Okay, so let me give you a simple way of going about it. For each, so for example, when you look at this question,
Yeah.
analyze key theories
theories. Yeah.
of leadership and management.
Hmm.
I've told you what you need to do.
Mm-hmm.
Number one, define or explain theories of leadership and management.
Mm-hmm.
I want to see that in your answer as the first thing. The next thing is identify and analyze 3 or 4 theories of leadership and management. And
Where the
link-
word identify comes, it means just to name them, right?
So you are going to find out 1 or 2 or 3, up to 3.
Okay, identify and analyze. Okay.
Yeah, so you are going to find out. We have covered some of them. You will do your own research and add to it. So
And how long the answer should be? Like one long paragraph?
okay, I'm going to tell you. So you are going to name and analyze minimum of 3 or 4 theories of leadership and management, and link their importance and relevance to adult care. You see what this is the question you are asking, okay? You will link it to adult care. How important is this theory to caring for adults in the health and social care setting? If you are able to do this, define and explain the theories of management leadership, then you analyze 3 or 4 of the theories, link them to their importance in the care of adults. You have answered the question. So what this template does is to show you what we expect from you. Once you're able to do what we put in here, you have answered the question. Do you understand? So for example, if I'm looking at your work or the assessor is looking at your work, you have not defined the meaning of theory, you have not defined theories of leadership and management, and you just went straight to talk about these. The question is not fully answered. You will not get 100 marks. You understand? And we also want to see that you have talked about at least 3 or 4, because this is level 5, theories of leadership and management. Analyzed it. One of the things we'll be doing in our next lesson is we are going to look at command words. When it says analyze, what am I supposed to do? Because I have to go beyond explaining, I have to go beyond describing to making some analysis. And that is what is going to give me full marks. Okay. So for example, when it comes to the next question, it says explain the difference between leadership and management. We want to see that you are able to define leadership. What is leadership? Leadership means, as we did on the slide, on the PowerPoint, management means, but then you are defining it in relation to the health and social care sector.
Okay, so where the difference kind of question comes, like difference between so and so, we can write it in column format?
When it says explain, don't put bullet points and don't put numbering. You write
That's
it in
fine, but
paragraph.
still we can write it in column format, right?
Yes, you can do that, absolutely.
Okay, and is there any particular font that we should all follow? Because then it will be the same for everyone.
Yes, so there's a particular font. I covered that one earlier on, going back there. How are we doing for time? Okay. Can everyone see this? Can everyone see this? Please tell me what you can see. Okay. You can see this now, right? Okay.
Yes.
So when it says here, completing the task, it tells you, okay, so this is analysis requires you to critically examine different aspects of a topic and identify important issues. Synthesis, so it explains some of the things that you need. When you come to, what am I looking for? I'm going to be also talking about, okay, referencing. We're going to do some referencing in our upcoming units and sessions. I'm talking about I'm looking for the font size. There is some information here for you. Okay. So this is the assignment brief. This is what Mansi is going to send to you. On the assignment brief, you will see here issue date, you see final deadline, final submission deadline, submission date, all of those things will be on it before she sends it to you, okay? She put the date there. Then let's see complete, do not, okay. Where is this? Referencing your work. Okay. Plagiarism. Okay, here. This is what you were asking. Presentation. Now, can you see? Your work must be submitted in a folder. That one may change because you submit online, okay? Word processed. The suitable format, 12-point font size. Nina, are you listening? Lalita and Sarah?
Yes, yes.
Okay, so the font size should be 12, 1.5 line spacing, and the pages should be well numbered. But over here, when you look at the, I'm going to change this now. What time is it now? I don't want us to go over 8 o'clock. Okay, it's 8 o'clock, so we have to end. We'll continue next week. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, so before
lesson.
we just end the class.
So this is you do everything on this, your assignment will be done on this template. Okay.
Okay, are we also allowed the resubmissions? Because suppose in the first submission, we got something wrong and you found something to correct for us.
Absolutely.
So we'll be given back the assignment and then we need to do the correction?
Yes, so we will give you feedback. You will see what you did well, you see what you need to improve upon, and then you do the correction.
So how many resubmissions are allowed?
Oh, you can't have more than one. Because when you have the feedback, you correct your work on the basis of that. We will do it together with you. Don't worry about it. No tension, no pressure.
Okay. Okay.
No one will fail. Everybody will pass.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So next class Friday will be 7 p.m., right?
Did you say Friday or we said Thursday, didn't we?
It was Friday, I think.
No, you said
no, we
Thursday.
Changed it to Friday. No, but then Thursday, Sirat was not comfortable. So the problem is that even Monday for me is not comfortable today because I've faced too many challenges because my son has the tuition timing, online tuition timing, the same time as mine with you. So it was clashing and he was coming to me again and again to ask something. So it was too disturbing.
Okay.
And Wednesday, he doesn't have any class. I just confirmed with Sirat and Lalita. They are comfortable with Wednesday and Friday, same time. Around like 6:30 and Friday 7 p.m. Wednesday 6:30 to 8:30 and Friday 7 to 8. If it's fine with you, because Monday I think you are also working and you came a bit late also.
No, I went to office. I went to college office only to do your work.
Oh, okay.
I didn't go to do any other
No, but
work.
initially like in the induction, it was mentioned Wednesday only. So if you're comfortable with Wednesday, we can do it on Wednesday evening.
Yeah, when I was told Wednesday, I was not given evening initially. You know, we were talking about that on Saturday. So Wednesday is okay, and but it shouldn't be after 7 because Wednesday from 7 I'm engaged. The same applies to Friday from 7 p.m. So if it is before 7, fine. Wednesday I could do anytime before 7 p.m. Friday, I could do anytime before 7 p.m. provided.
Okay.
So if you want to discuss again among yourselves and determine the next session, I don't want us to go beyond 8 o'clock now because it's 8 o'clock, but we can discuss on the platform, or you can discuss among yourselves and then you let us know. Is that
So
okay?
next class is on Thursday or Friday?
Depending on what you all agree. But if you want it to be on Wednesday, then for me, Wednesday is suitable for me as long as it's before 7. Hello, are you all with me?
Yeah.
Lalita, what do you think?
And Friday, what time suits you?
Both Friday and Wednesday, I have service. I have some meeting from 7 o'clock. So from 7 to 8:30, I have service, both Wednesday and Friday. So I could only do Wednesday if it is before 7 o'clock.
So what about this class, like today's Monday? So when
Monday
can we
is
do
fine.
the next class this week? When can we do the next class?
The next class is just for 1 hour, I guess. So we can
Yes, it is.
continue with Wednesday only, no? 6 to 7.
Did you say 6 to 7?
Yeah, Wednesday.
Okay, 6 to
Sairath?
7 is
If
fine
everyone
with
is
me.
okay, yeah.
Friday, 6 to 7 is fine with me.
Yeah, if Sarath is okay, I'm just giving a suggestion.
Where is
Friday,
Cyrus?
okay?
Wednesday or Friday, 6 to 7, if you are okay.
Yeah, Wednesday and Friday, 6 to 7. Yeah, fine.
Okay, so we have to choose one.
This Wednesday. This Wednesday?
Not this Wednesday. We are discussing
Okay,
for the
next
whole
Wednesday,
course,
yeah.
Cyrus.
Yeah, that's that. Fine, no problem.
Because
which
every
one?
week we can't
The next class in
change the
Friday.
You want
No,
the
no,
next
no,
class on
Friday.
Friday or Wednesday? Which one are we concluding on? Okay, should I leave it to you to decide and you put it on the
Yeah, we will text in the group.
And
On
what
WhatsApp?
about the Sunday? Like you won't be able to take it on Sunday morning, isn't it, Chris?
Sunday morning is fine with me.
What time?
Anytime that is okay with you is fine with me. Up to 1:30, I'm fine.
Cyrus, are you fine with Sunday?
Yeah, Sunday morning is okay for no problem.
Okay, so Chris, we'll do one thing. We'll discuss with each other.
Okay.
And then we can let you know, because
Perfect.
there is still confusion about our next class that is for 1 hour. When it will be, I
Okay.
don't know.
Okay, so
Are you
whatever
available this Thursday, 1 hour evening?
1 minute. Yeah, what
Thursday.
time?
Thursday evening, anytime
Thursday.
like 7 to 8 or
Thursday, anytime is
Yeah, I'm
fine
not
for me.
available in this Thursday. This Friday.
Okay, Thursday,
Huh?
anytime is fine with me.
This week I am only available on Friday.
So Friday,
Okay.
6 to 7 is okay with you, Sarath?
Yeah, it's okay, no problem.
So then I will do one thing. If we'll close by Friday, 6 to 7. I guess Chris is also okay with 6 to 7 on Friday.
Chris, are you okay
1
with 6 to
minute.
7?
Friday,
6 to 7.
this Friday,
Yeah.
6 to 7 is going to be crucial. This Friday, 6 to 7 will be crucial.
And what about 7 to 8?
Oh, 7. Fridays from 7, I'm engaged.
Yeah, from 7.
Fridays and Wednesdays from 7 to 8:30, I have a meeting.
So what
But I
about,
can do any time on Wednesday.
okay, Wednesday 6 to 7?
Is Sarah going to be free?
Or else we done in tomorrow.
Tomorrow? Yeah, I'm okay.
What did you say, Lalita?
Sarath saying tomorrow, I guess. Yeah, tomorrow 6 to 7.
Yeah.
So I'm okay. What about
Tomorrow, Nina, is tomorrow okay with you? Tomorrow, 6 to 7. Okay, why don't you, let's do it this way. Take your time. Everyone should look at their program. Just know that on Wednesdays and Fridays, I'm available at any time except after 7. And think it through. Let all of you look at your program. Think it through, and then let's agree on something. Is that okay?
Yeah, fine.
You can always put your views on the platform. But I don't want us to go beyond 8 o'clock. It's already 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
Is that okay?
Yeah, yeah. Fine.
I really appreciate all of you. You've done very well. And thank you for your tolerance from the beginning. You are a wonderful group of people, and we appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Okay.
And you are available on Tuesdays anyways, like Tuesdays doesn't bother you, right?
Tuesdays are busy for me, actually.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yes. But Tuesday after 7, I'm okay.
After 7, you're okay.
I am okay.
So can we start sharp at 7 on Tuesday?
Perfect. If it's
Okay.
okay with everyone.
Yeah, I'm okay.
I know from week to week, things may change because you have children, maybe some program will come. We are all okay and flexible. Whatever will make you satisfied, that is what we want. Okay. And you have all the support from us. Yeah.
Okay, so next class, when it will be, we can discuss it on the WhatsApp. I'll message you.
That is fine.
Okay.
Thank you all so very much.
Okay, thank you,
And,
Chris.
take care.
Thank you.
Take
Thank
care,
you.
bye.
Bye.
Bye. Bye. Thank you, Raj. Thank you so much.
Most welcome, Krish.
Okay.
Night.
Bye.
Everyone. Bye.
Bye.